Hello, everybody. This is your tarot acquaintance with a new pick a card reading. And for today's pick a card reading, we're going to talk about your next experience. This could be any type of experience. I'll go into details once I get to each pile, but just so we don't waste time, I'll just go through the piles real quick. So for pile number one, we have this cute Sailor Moon Polaroid. Pile number two, we have this one of the city. Pile number three is this cherry blossom tree with the cats. And pile number four, another Sailor Moon with, I forgot his name, Tuxedo Mask. I don't know, I forgot the name of the characters. So with this being said, pick the pile that you feel most drawn to, and I will see you on your reading. Welcome to your reading, pile number one. So for today's pick a card reading, we're going to talk about your next experience. This could be any sort of type of experience. I'm trying to keep it PG for this reading, so unless I pick up some, smexy, sexy vibes or something, I'll let you guys know. But even then, I'm still going to try to keep it PG. If you were drawn to this card, this is your pile. The way this is gonna work, the first three cards are gonna kind of talk about your overall mood, how it's gonna be like, and then the bottom three are gonna give us some more information. They're gonna solidify the information, and then at the end we're gonna reveal like a secret message for you, just like a little piece of advice. And with all that out of the way, let's get started. Let's put that there for now. So the first thing I kind of want to point out in your pile is red. I see a lot of red in this pile. And for me, usually red signifies like passion or a need for it. I feel like a lot of you guys have like a lot of passion, unexpressed passion for something. It could be a passion for a hobby, a passion for life, a passion for romance. It could be repressed emotions for some of you. It's almost like, I don't know if you guys see this card, but it's almost like she wants to be seen, like expressed. And I understand this is like a painting, painted from the male gaze, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know, if you just look at this card, the way she just poises and holds herself, it's like she really desires to be seen. And even in general, just like looking at the red, it's just like really, it's really popping out to me. And then if you notice how she's working on her craft here, again, this kind of gives you the sense that some of you are very passionate about something. There is something, maybe one particular thing you're very passionate about. It could also be maybe like a television show, movies, maybe it's like a certain niche that you are really drawn to and you're very into that. You could be very passionate about music, just things like that. So that's something I kind of wanted to get out of the way. But also, before I move on, for your flower, you get nasturtium. I don't know if I'm saying that correct. And you have victory and conquest. So this really gives me a sense of somebody who, again, is passionate, somebody that really wants to win. Not in like necessarily that you're trying to compete with everybody, but more like you have a desire to succeed in some way or another, if that makes sense. So I think this is very interesting. What I'm kind of noticing up here is that there is a sense of conflict, and I think this is within you. There is some sort of issue that needs to be addressed. I don't really feel like this is about somebody else, and I'll explain why. Because this is like your next experience. And let me tell you, this pile already feels very spiritual, and I'll get to why in a bit. With Eight of Pentacles here, I feel like you're trying to confront a part of you that has been repressed for a long time, and you feel this need to work hard. It's almost like it's almost like I feel like you're ready, if that makes sense. It's almost like there's something about your routine, and like this pile's next experience is all about breaking your routines. Does that make sense? Like I feel like there's a sense of stagnation, um almost like, you have to stand very still so you don't get cut. But like it's almost like you have to break away from this conflict within you. I think some of you could be bored. Like it doesn't have to be this dramatic. Like some of you are just bored. I mean, hence why you're in this reading, correct? Like I think some of you could be very well be just like really bored. Like there is a need for you to transform. Like with change of seasons, this card talks about how we are constantly evolving and transforming. This pile is all about transformation. And I know what I'm saying sounds very like spiritual and like, very, very metaphysical kind of vibe, if that makes sense. It doesn't sound concrete, like you are gonna go out and get a coffee. Like, no, it's, I wasn't expecting this, you guys. I was expecting something more like you are gonna go out and get a coffee kind of reading. But I feel like with the Nine of Pentacles, you're working really hard to manifest something. Like I said, like I've been getting a lot of hobbies and watching movies, and it's just something you're very passionate about, and I think you're working really hard to get there. I get the sense that most of you are kind of fed up, if that makes sense. You're kind of fed up being bored, and you're gonna either pick up some hobby of some sort. You're gonna pick up a new habit. Like for some of you, it could be like a skincare routine, makeup routine. You're gonna up your makeup game if you're into that. You might change the way you look or dress. Like I don't know if you can see how these are both poised like so beautifully. There's just something about them. It's almost like there's a part of you that just kind of is begging to be seen, and not in like a I need validation kind of way. It's more like I'm tired of being stagnant. I'm tired of being in this mental conflict with myself and not deciding, or just not making the leap. And also with victory and conquest, there's also like with the quote here saying, "He who has mastered himself is mightier still." This is almost like a self-reflection, self-discovery. So it's like your next experience is going to be all about self-discovery, which is why I really get the sense that you need to do this alone. Like I feel like with the swords here, it's almost not that you should reject people. It's more like you should just kind of be on your own, go through your transformation on your own. So for some of you, you might just need to pick up a hobby and keep it to yourself, because at the end of the day, you're the one who's manifesting this, this experience, this self-discovery, this self-growth. Sorry, it was like really loud outside. you know with this like loudness outside, it just really makes me feel like you just want to be heard almost. That's so interesting. I didn't really think of it like that, but all these cars honking is almost like beep beep, I want to be seen, look at me, like I'm on my way to becoming the baddest bitch. So yeah, I think this is pretty interesting. um and it was pretty straightforward in my opinion. I think your next experience is gonna involve picking up like a hobby, learning to master it on your own, and growing from that, also learning more about yourself in the process. You're definitely gonna shake up your routine, like like it's not gonna be the same, definitely not gonna be the same like as you were before. All right, so that was pretty quick, and I mean I kind of intended this reading to be quick. and simple. I didn't want to spend like way too much time on it. So with that, let's pull out your mystery card and see what we get. Oops, backwards. You got Linda Evangelista. I want to say Evangelista, but it's probably wrong. You are the most important person on your team. Life is a catwalk, so learn how to work it. Don't get out of bed for less than I would. This is very interesting. It really, for me, it really solidifies that what I was saying, that you need to kind of do this on your own, that there's going to be a lot of self-discovery, and you need to learn how to work it. You need to learn what fulfills you. I think for some of you guys, some of you could rely on friends a lot to do anything. It's almost like if you ever want to go somewhere or do something, your friends always kind of have to be there. Otherwise, like, you just can't like have fun. And I think this overall experience is going to teach you to have fun on your own. You need to learn to have fun on your own. You need to learn that you are your own person, and that you need to kind of make your own decisions and not rely on others to have fun. And not that I'm saying that you're dependent on them. It's just more like, we need to just kind of learn to like our own company, and, take yourself out on dates or something, and don't wait for somebody to be like, hey, we should do this thing, and then you're like, yeah, let's do that. So yeah, this is very, very interesting. You're on your way to becoming a bad bitch. And what's interesting, there's like all this money around her. I feel like you're trying to manifest money for some of you, or some of you could pick up this hobby, whatever hobby, or trade or skill, whatever you're trying to do, and you could probably make money off of it. For some of you, you could even like go into modeling, do photography, maybe invest in stocks or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know what you're into. Maybe some of you are really good at like makeup, or you're really good with skincare routines and you know a lot about it. Maybe some of you have practical life advice that you can share with other people. I don't know. I don't really know what you're into, but I just get the sense that there's so many things that you can do, and you just need to express it in some way or another. So that's it for your reading, pile number 1. I hope you enjoyed it, and this is your tarot acquaintance. If you want to like and subscribe, feel free. Also, if this pile did not resonate with you, that's okay. You can pick a different pile, or maybe this just was not your message for today. So with that being said, I'll see you on the next pick a card reading. Goodbye. Welcome to your reading, pile number 2. For today's pick a card reading, we're going to find out what your next experience is going to be like. This could be any sort of experience. It is not limited to romantic or sexual or anything like that. We're going to find out what's going on internally and how that's going to manifest externally as far as your next experience. The way this is going to work out, the first 3 cards are going to reveal something about yourself, something that you might be going through internally, and the bottom 3 cards are going to solidify what the experience is going to be like. So overall, we're gonna have an overview of what the experience is going to be, and maybe how you should feel at the end of it all. And then at the end, we are gonna read a mystery card that's gonna give you some advice. So if you were drawn to this card, this is your reading. I'm gonna put this here, and we'll get started. Okay, so for your cards, you got 3 of Pentacles in reverse, 4 of Pentacles upright, Queen of Cups in reverse, House of Flowers, Nasturtium. I don't know if I'm saying that right. By the way, pile number 2, pile 1 got this card. Like, this one just popped right out, so I didn't change it for a different one because it just popped out and I knew that it wanted to be a part of this reading. And for your last card, you got black and white, and this is from my own fashionista oracle, which I made myself. So let's see what we can pick up from all of this. Okay, so for your next experience, pile 2, your experience is a little more clear cut compared to pile number 1. I feel like in pile number 1 I was like all over the place and I couldn't really pin down the experience until the end. But for you guys, I feel like there's something about photography and videos, and something about something retro, something very something from the past. Let's just put it that way. So there's something about your past, something about your home. I feel like for many of you, you are going to open up a treasure trove full of memories. This is what I am seeing. I mean, this could be some of you, not all of you. And I can't tell you for sure when this is going to happen. Because I can see this happening. Like maybe you're going through your parents' old albums, if they made any. Or maybe you're going through your own personal belongings. Maybe you're clearing out clutter, and you find something that it sticks out to you. So this is a lot of like self-discovery. I don't want to say self-discovery, introspection. With Three of Pentacles being in reverse here, I see this a lot about doing this on your own, that you just kind of stumble upon this thing. You're not really asking anybody to help you if this was upright, like it's on reverse. I see this as like you were just curious, you looked into it. For some of you, this could be like maybe you're asking your parents or I don't know, somebody's next to you, and then they're looking at all these memories with you. I think there is something about introspection and memories and something along those lines. I do feel like this experience might be a little bit painful just because the Queen of Cups is in reverse. Like I think some of these memories are gonna trigger a side of you that you don't always think about. It could also trigger some nostalgia. You could be a very emotional person, whether you show it or not. And I get the sense that I think you're gonna be shaken up a little bit in some way. And I hope this doesn't apply to many of you, but it could apply to some of you. I am sensing the loss. Somebody might have lost a parent or a loved one, just a very close relative. And sometimes, like, looking into these memories kind of triggers that sadness within you. For some of you, you could have lost a friend, not in literal death, but I mean, like, maybe you stopped talking to somebody, hence the lack of collaboration here too. Like I get some painful memories here. And with House of Flowers being here, this card talks about enjoying the moment in the present. And I do feel like you will get some satisfaction from going through this nostalgia. Kind of like it's almost like a catharsis of some sort, the way I look at it. It's like whether you're going through your old belongings, you're clearing out clutter, you're going through your parents super retro old album, like something along those lines. There's something satisfying you're gonna get out of it. I feel like you're gonna have like some sort of lust for life. This is how I feel when I look at this picture right here, and maybe that's why you guys picked it too. So yeah, this is a very interesting pile. Like, I don't know what else to say. Let's see. Very interesting. I don't know. I see a lot of connection to family. there's something about family here that just is really standing out to me. So yeah, pile number two. So if I had to sum up your experience, I think your experience, the next experience you might have could be a situation where you look at old memories of some sort, or you are clearing out clutter. Maybe you're looking through your photos on your phone, and like you're trying to delete all these photos, but then as you look through them and you go back in time, you see all the pictures like that you've taken, and it's almost like you're reliving the experience, if that makes sense. So it's very interesting, pretty straightforward. For some of you, you could be looking through your old emails, and you might see something, read an old email from an old friend, colleague, partner, ex-partner, or something that could trigger your emotions. I just feel like there's a little bit of a heaviness and a little bit emotional, like some curiosity here, yeah, very interesting, pile number two. So yeah, hopefully this made sense. I hope it was pretty straightforward. um with that being said, we're just gonna pull the last card, and we're gonna read what it says. So she says, you can rule the world with a lipstick. A lady should be crease free in clothes and in fashion. Earn your daydreams. I feel like this experience is really gonna inspire you to create something new. I don't know if you can see how she's creating like perfume, I'm assuming, or she's creating something. Like, I feel like this is really going to inspire you. Hi everybody, sorry I got cut off from the video, but we're back. So she says, you can rule the world with a lipstick. A lady should be crease free in clothes and in fashion. Earn your daydreams. So it's just like a little piece of advice. I'm not connecting this super closely with the reading, but I mean, I do think it's kind of interesting how she's making something. So I feel like this experience is going to inspire you to create something new, make something different. You know, um, it could even well inspire you to be more into like fashion, more like retro fashion for some of you. I know this is very, very specific, and I know not all of you are into like retro vintage stuff, but some of you could be, some of you could look more into it. Either way, I just feel like a lot of experimentation after this experience. And like I said before, sometimes it doesn't have to be super deep or dramatic the way we kind of channel these messages. It's just like, it just kind of builds up like little by little. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. That is it for pile number two. This is your tarot acquaintance, and if you like this reading, feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on my next reading. Goodbye. Welcome to reading pile number three. For today's pick a card reading, we're gonna find out what your next experience is going to be, and this could be any sort of experience. It does not have to be romantic or sexual or anything of the sort. I will let you know if I do pick up on those vibes, but anything goes with this reading. It could be as simple as going out to get a coffee and as deep as doing shadow work or something along those. With all that being said, the first three cards are going to be a representation of what is going on internally, and the bottom three are going to solidify further what the experience is going to be, and overall how all these messages intertwine. So also, we are gonna get like a small piece of advice for your situation, and with all that out of the way, we'll get started. So if you were drawn to this Polaroid, mini Polaroid, this is your reading. Very beautiful card, one of my favorites. And for your cards, you got Justice in reverse, King of Swords upright, Two of Wands upright, the Perfect Key, Ben is Mallow, and Do What You Love. So right off the bat, pile number 3, I think what's interesting for you is that I feel like there is a need to make a decision. With Two of Wands being here, this could be a creative decision. Something that has to do with your creativity, something that you love. And then with Justice being present here, there is some sort of lack of balance. There is a certain sense of insecurity I'm sensing here, a sense of imbalance, unsafety for some of you, feeling unsafe in some way. You also got the King of Swords, which tells me that you have to make a smart decision, if that makes sense. There is a need for you to weigh your options. I know I still haven't gotten to what the experience is, but hear me out. There is a need for you to make a decision, weigh out your options, and see what will work best for you. And the reason why this is one of those interesting ones that is also very spiritual, you guys. Pile number 1 was like this. Pile number 2, not so much. This is very interesting because this is also about self-discovery. If you were drawn to pile number 1, you should also check out that reading, but if not, it's okay. What's interesting about this one is that there is a lot of need to focus on the self-discovery. You know, the Perfect Key talks about, in a way, it alludes to people telling you how to live your life, but you have the key to your own heart. You have the key, you have the answers to whatever questions you might have when it pertains to yourself. You're the only one that knows exactly what you need. You are the only one that knows what will work best for you. And this is all about what the Do What You Love card is about. It's all about doing and accepting what works for you. What makes you feel comfortable? How do you feel confident in yourself? So it's very interesting. With Ben is Mallow here, the quote says, "When life is not coming up roses, look to the weeds and find the beauty hidden within them." I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like this pile in particular might need to do a little bit of shadow work or some sort of self-reflection. Something about self-reflection here, because there's a lot of like indecisiveness, a lot of doing what you love, finding out what works for you. It's very interesting. And then there is something about making like a creative decision, making a choice about what you love. So I don't know what is going on in your life, pile number 3, but I think some of you guys are kind of stuck. I feel like some of you feel like you have to be in this mode, in a masculine mode. How do I say it? Like you're like a bit of an authoritative figure, or you perceive yourself as such, and the cards are saying that you shouldn't have to feel this way. You have to find out what works for you. It's almost like you use these badges and this crown as a way to kind of hide what you're truly feeling. You feel like you have to be constantly taking care of others, or you have to do what's best for everybody. And sometimes that manifests in you not taking care of yourself in some way. So for some of you, this could mean engaging in more self-care. I mean, I know we didn't get like the self-care card, but we did get the do what you love card. So for some of you, self-care does not have to be like doing spa treatments or taking a long bath. It doesn't always have to mean that way. It could just mean, if for some of you, do something creative, or do something that you enjoy, period. So for some of you, you could be working too hard, or something. There is something going on in your life that there's a sense of imbalance. You don't feel like you're yourself, and you know what you like. So for some of you, you might need to watch a movie that you like, listen to music. For some of you, go out in nature, play with your cat. I don't know, get a cat for some of you. Let me see what else. Some since there's messages about creativity, some of you could be artists and you might need to, you know, do your art. Others of you might be into gardening, or maybe you want to get into gardening but just haven't for whatever reason. You feel like you don't have the time for it, and this is kind of like, this is almost giving you permission to do so. You know, like, just think of one thing that you've always wanted to do, or that you like to do, either or, and just do that. Like, no excuses. So hopefully this is making sense, pile number 3, but it was also pretty straightforward. I think your next experience is engaging in some self-care, and you have to decide what self-care looks like to you. And for some of you, going back to shadow work, some of you don't even know what relaxing even looks like to you. So some of you need to search that answer within, like, what is something you enjoy if you were alone. Let's say that we didn't have obligations. Let's say you didn't have to work, pay bills, you're living your best life. Some source out there is paying for all of your bills, and for you to have a house and a roof over your head. If that were the case, what would you be doing? Does that make sense? That's what you would need to sit down and figure out. I think I got the message across. So I'll go ahead and pull out the mystery card and see what we got. We got, fashion is a statement of intent. A pompadour quiff is a signature. Find one of your own. Don't wait for a rainy day to wear your favorite clothes. So, I'm kind of connecting this a little bit to the reading. Some of you could be into fashion. I'm just gonna throw that out there, and or maybe you've been wanting to get into it. This is your sign to start looking into it. And like, another interesting thing is that when it says don't wait for a rainy day to wear your favorite clothes, this is almost like telling me, like, you don't need permission, not even from this reading. You don't need permission from anyone or anything to do what you want to do. And again, the find one of your own line also kind of gives me the sense that if you don't know what it is that you like or what it is that you want, it's time for you to find out by yourself. And trust me when I say that you have the answers. You just need to kind of search within. For some of you, it could even help to ask yourselves, like, as a child, what is something you really enjoy doing? And it doesn't matter if it's like playing with toys or Barbies or watching Disney movies. Like, who cares? Like, do that if you have to. To relive your childhood if you must. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So yeah, with all this being said, I think I'm gonna end it here, pile number 3. Let me know if this made any type of sense. This was your tarot acquaintance, And if you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and look forward to my upcoming readings. And I will see you later. Welcome to your reading pile number 4. For today's pick a card reading, we're going to find out what your next experience is going to be. And this could be any sort of experience. It is not limited to romantic or sexual, but I will let you know if I do pick up on that vibe. This could be from a simple experience to getting ice cream to even like writing like a journal entry or something to reflect on your life. It could be anything really. So with that being said, the first 3 cards are going to represent what is going on internally. The bottom 3 cards are going to be a representation of how the event might actually play out, and overall we're going to get a picture of what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, and how it's going to affect you. So it's going to be very fun. And as a bonus, we also have a card, a mystery card, letting us know just a little bit of advice about your situation, and hopefully, it'll be like a light, fun reading that we can just kind of take away, or whatever you want to do with it. So with all that being said, if you were drawn to this card, this is your reading. This is very cute. And the first thing I kind of want to point out for your reading is just I feel a lot of companionship in this outing. And what's interesting is that all the readings so far, I've seen like a lot of self-reflection, being on your own, possibly with a friend, but not really. It's more like you on your own time. So that's kind of nice. But this one does entail somebody. I see with 3 of Cups here. This is the card about celebration. For some of you, this could even be romantic potentially. 3 of Cups doesn't always have to be romantic. It could just be celebrating with friends, family, doing a get together, just something that involves other people. With 3 of Wands here, I see a need to make some creative decisions, some planning that has to be done. So I think that's pretty interesting. Like this is something that is gonna require some sort of effort. It could be a party, with 3 of Cups being here. Also, talking about companionship, under my umbrella is a card that talks about friendship. Actually, it talks about being a support system to your friends, unconditional love. So yes, I definitely feel that for many of you, you might just have a simple hangout with your friends. This event is it's gonna be all about your pleasure. Like, I don't mean sexually, I just mean like just fun, like just good old fun. And it's gonna be a blissful experience. Let me see what the quote says. Follow your bliss and the universe will open doors where there were only walls. So for some of you, especially with the situation with with COVID-19 going right now, some of you might not have left your home for like a long time. Whoa, sorry about that. But you see like the walls around here, it's like she hasn't left her home in like a really long time. So this makes perfect sense to me. Some of you could be leaving your home for the first time in a long time since the whole pandemic situation. Some of you could be going to the beach or somewhere in nature. Some of you could be getting ready to go to the beach, like maybe you're working on that summer body, or you're trying to get the peeps together and see what date's gonna work for you guys. With the 6 of Pentacles being here, I just see a lot of there's like a lot of like not necessarily planning, but a lot of consideration for others. So it's like, even though you're like planning this with others, when you're the one that's planning this with others, and what you're planning is making sure that you're considerate of other people's time, that everybody's schedule is works for everybody. And also with Under My Umbrella, there is a lot of consideration here, a lot of kindness. I think some of your friends could also be in that situation where they haven't left home in a while, so all of you are just kind of mentally trying to get mentally ready to even like leave your homes. But it's like once you do, I see that you guys are gonna have like so much fun being by the water wherever you end up going. I do get a lot of like water, so some of you could even be going to the pool. This is like really nice, pile four. Like this is super chill, and like it's almost, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being introspective and spiritual, but this is just straight up like we don't care, we just want to go out and have fun, and like that's exactly what's gonna happen. I also did want to mention, especially if you were drawn to this card, there is a bit of a romantic element going on here. So for some of you, you could even go on a date with somebody for the first time in a while. This could be somebody you're like really attracted to and that is attracted to you back, especially with Under My Umbrella here. This is also, it can be a bit of a romantic, um there's a bit of like a romantic illusion here. It's like you are caring and compassionate and you're willing to do that for your partner. And the date could turn into a blissful experience. And then with the Three of Wands, it's also like you're getting ready for this date. I think this person that you could be into is very generous. Maybe you're both very generous people, and that's why you're into each other. And you could be meeting for the first time in a long time, or since ever. Like this could be the first time you're meeting this person. So this is also very interesting. I can also see this being a different take on this reading if maybe you're not hanging out with your friends, like maybe you are planning a date with somebody. So this is really great, pile number four. I wish I could say more, but I just feel like I got my point across. Like that's really what this experience is going to be all about. Either way, I feel like your experience is going to involve water of some sort, being in nature. I don't know. I just thought that was like interesting, and something about leaving your home for sure. Like you're not gonna do this at your home. You're gonna do this outside, outside somewhere. So I think it's gonna be super fun, and yeah, that's all I got as far as these messages. So with that being said, let me pull the mystery card and see what we get. Good girls dress well, but bad girls undress better. Okay, I see where we're going with this. Every woman needs a little black dress. Always exceed your own expectations. This is so interesting. So for some of you, yeah, this could definitely be a date. I mean, it doesn't have to be. This is just like a little piece of advice, but sometimes it does connect to the reading, and in this case, I do see it. For some of you, it could be that you are going on a date, and it might be time for you to pull out the little black dress. Maybe you're working on your bod so you can fit on that beautiful dress. You know what I mean? And you're just really trying to look your best, and I think that's a good thing. You should be able to do what you love. And also always exceed your own expectations. This makes me think a little bit of like that mental struggle. What I was saying, that some people haven't left their house in a long time, so they might feel apprehensive about leaving their home, and it's not easy. But this card is telling you to, like, exceed your expectations. You can leave your house, like you can get through this mental hurdle. And that's just something that maybe you might be going through, your friends might be going through, people in your environment might be going through, and it's just like a little reassurance that everything is going to be okay. So just push yourself to the best of your ability, if that makes sense. So yeah, I definitely feel like you're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be great. I just feel like this is something that's needed. Like you just needed this for a long time and you deserve it. So claim it, sis. So, with all that being said, all that out of the way, I'm going to end the reading here. This was your tarot acquaintance, and if you like this reading, go ahead and leave me a like and subscribe, and look forward to my next reading. Bye bye.